Do you think that General Patton was woke? I don't think so. What do you think, Mike? Mike, was he woke? I don't think so. I don't think he was too woke.
Love him or hate him, Donald Trump is a political force of nature. Loud, unapologetic, and impossible to ignore. His brash style and unfiltered remarks have cemented him as one of the most controversial figures in modern history. While his words outrage many, his supporters see him as a fearless warrior against runaway political correctness. For the next few minutes, we're diving into Trump's most audacious takedowns of woke culture, starting with a fiery showdown at a conference where a woke feminist attempted to cancel him, branding him a misogynist. But in true Trump fashion, things didn't go as planned for her. Watch closely.
So maybe I'm wrong, maybe you can prove me wrong, but I don't think that you're a friend to women.
I knew I shouldn't have picked her. I knew I shouldn't have picked her. All right, so let me give you that answer right now. I respect women incredibly. I have had women working for me in positions that they've never worked in terms of construction, in terms of so many different jobs. I had a woman who was in charge of the building of Trump Tower many years ago, before it was even thought, before anybody would have even thought of it, and did a fantastic job. I have given women more opportunity than I would say virtually anybody in the construction industry. I have a daughter named Ivanka and a wife named Melania who constantly want me to talk about women's health issues because they know how I feel about it, and they know how I feel about women. I respect women. I love women. I cherish women. You know, Hillary Clinton said he shouldn't cherish. Well, I said, I do cherish. I cherish women. My mother was one of the great people of the world, maybe the greatest ever, my mother. I respect women, and I'm going to take care of women. You know, Jeb Bush didn't want to fund women's health issues. You read that. You saw that. And then he took it back later. I will take care of women, and I have great respect for women, and I do cherish women. And I will take care of women. And I'll take care of us also from the enemy, meaning the enemy on different shores that's looking to come in and do numbers. Believe me, I will take care of the people in this country far better than any of the folks that you're looking at right now. That I can tell you. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Trump's response was a masterclass in flipping the script. He didn't just defend himself, he went on the offensive, highlighting his track record of empowering women in male-dominated industries. But his critic wasn't backing down just yet. As a committed feminist, she played what she thought was her trump card, the wage gap debate. Determined to regain control of the exchange, she fired off a pointed question. If you become president, will I make the same amount of money as a man? And do I get to choose what I do with my body? Trump, never one to shy away from sarcasm, smirked before delivering his response. You'll get it, if you do as good of a job. The room erupted, with his supporters cheering and his critics seething. In just a few words, he dismissed the wage gap argument and reinforced his no-nonsense approach. But the exchange wasn't over yet.
If you become president, will a woman make the same as a man? And do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job. You're going to make the same if you do as good a job, and I happen
to... Trump didn't hold back as he launched into one of his most infamous rants against woke culture. Turning to the crowd, he asked with a smirk, "Do you think General Patton was woke?" "I don't think so." "What do you think, Mike? Was he woke?" "I don't think so. He was the exact opposite." "You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit." The crowd erupted in laughter and applause. But Trump wasn't done. Shifting gears, he took aim at the U.S. women's soccer team, using their performance as proof of his point. "I got a little trouble when I said our women's soccer team was supposed to easily win, but they went woke. Except for a few of them. I love those women who stood up and saluted our flag. But the one with the purple hair? She didn't play too well. She went woke. You can have her." With that, Trump made his stance crystal clear. In his eyes, woke culture wasn't just an annoyance. It was a recipe for failure.
Do you think that General Patton was woke? I don't think so. What do you think, Mike? Mike, was he woke? I don't think so. I don't think he was too woke. He was the exact opposite. You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true. Look at what's happening. I got in a little trouble. I said that our women's soccer team was supposed to easily win, but they went woke, except for a few of them. I love those women that stood up and they saluted our flag. There were some of them. But the one with the purple hair, she didn't play too well. She went woke.
During a heated interview, Trump was pressed on why he kept classified documents despite a federal subpoena. As the interviewer pushed for an answer, Trump, visibly annoyed, shot back with his signature bluntness. "It's very simple. You are a nasty person." The exchange instantly went viral, adding yet another classic Trump moment to the headlines.
Why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to, you're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you held on to the documents?
I was negotiating and we were talking to...
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Trump made his stance on gender and race crystal clear, declaring that under his leadership, official U.S. policy would recognize only two genders, male and female, and promote a society free of racial divisions. But the woke community wasn't having it. His statement sparked outrage, with critics calling it regressive and discriminatory. Protests erupted, media outlets went into overdrive, and social activists vowed to fight back. Yet, as always, Trump remained unfazed, doubling down on his position and refusing to back down.
This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Trump's war on woke culture wasn't just about rhetoric, it was about action. From pushing back against political correctness to declaring an official stance on gender, and even shaking up institutions like the Kennedy Center, he made it clear. Woke ideology had no place in his vision for America. As he boldly put it, there's no more woke in this country. Woke has cost us a fortune and our reputation, but that reputation is coming back, fast. Love him or hate him. Trump's battle against woke culture continues to fuel debate, ignite controversy, and rally his base.
So we took over the Kennedy Center. We didn't like what they were showing and various other things. I had a lot of the board members already, as you know, and we have some that will be replaced, a whole new group of people going in. We're going to get some great professionals. I'm going to be chairman of it, and we're going to make sure that it's good and it's not going to be woke.
Can you discuss your intentions with the Kennedy Center, which you're now board chair?
So we took over the Kennedy Center. We didn't like what they were showing and various other things. And I had a lot of the board members already, as you know, and we have some that will be replaced. But we have, I guess, a whole new group of people going in.
I have Rick Grinnell, who's got some experience in that world. He's very good. Going to be handling it on a temporary basis. I think he'll do a great job, but we're going to get some great professionals. I'm going to be chairman of it, and we're going to make sure that it's good and it's not going to be woke. There's no more woke in this country. This woke has cost us a fortune and cost us our reputation, but the reputation's coming back very, very rapidly. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
The penny, guys.
The penny is gone.
Go, penny's gone. Is the nickel next? What about the dime? What about anything? Good luck. The penny is gone. Your message to
The penny cost this government a lot of money.
Thank you, guys.
Trump has been outspoken in his criticism of transgender women competing in female sports, calling it unfair and a threat to women's athletics. He argues that allowing biological males to compete against women destroys the integrity of competition and puts female athletes at a disadvantage. During rallies and speeches, he has mocked the concept, often highlighting instances where transgender athletes have dominated women's sports. His stance has been met with both applause from his supporters, who see it as protecting women's rights, and backlash from LGBTQ+ advocates who accuse him of discrimination. Despite the controversy, Trump has remained firm, vowing that under his leadership, the U.S. would uphold the traditional distinction between male and female categories in sports.
And we will prosecute those involved in California's depraved new laws that strip parents of parental rights. Can you believe? Can you believe? Who would have thought that 10 years ago, if somebody got up and said, we will stop child sexual mutilation, people would say, is this guy crazy? Who would have? We have to stop it. It's going on at a level nobody, without parental rights. Or who would say that we will give parental rights over your children back to parents? Who would think that you would have to say, or that men in women's sports will not be allowed? Who would think? Can you imagine this? You know, Brian Urlacher, the big football player, great football player from Chicago, he's a massive guy, big, strong guy. He was a great Hall of Famer and everything. He played for Chicago. And I was with him a couple of months ago, and we were standing at my golf club in Palos Verdes, Trump National, and he said, we were talking about things, and I looked at the size of this man, right? He's retired now, but had a Hall of Fame career, top of the line guy, great player, but big. And my manager came over, Lily, she's fantastic. She's very small. She's the size of his leg, maybe. And I took a picture of Lily and Brian Urlacher, and I said, we will not allow men in women's sports. And you saw the other day they had a weightlifting deal going on, and there's one young woman, she was so proud, her parents were in the front row, she was gonna break the record. They put a 1/4 ounce on each side of the thing. Stood for 18 years. And she got up and I don't want to imitate it because, you know, my wife, the First Lady, hates when I do this. She said, it's not presidential. I said, yeah, but people like it. So they put the weights on the end, little tiny things like a little nothing, 1/4 ounce. And she gets up, and her parents are so proud, 19 years. She's almost there, Boom, couldn't do it. Then this guy who recently transitioned, he gets over the weights, looks at him, they said, have you lifted before? No, I really haven't. She was a world champion, right? I haven't lifted too much, a little bit. I did it recreationally. Oh, good. So he gets over the same weights. Bing, boom, boom, bing, 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 bing. He broke the record like by 180 pounds. And then they say, we will have men in women's sports. These people are crazy. You know, I'm not a big fan of LeBron James, but I said this. I would like to meet with LeBron, say, LeBron, I've decided I'm going to get out of the presidential business, get out of the real estate business. I'm going to become a basketball coach of women. And I'm going to get him and 4 or 5 other guys to transition. And we are going to have the greatest basketball team in history. We will be undefeated forever. We will make the legendary John Wooden into just a little asterisk. No, it's just crazy. The swimmer, remember, championship swimmer? She wanted to break the record. She was going to do it. She looks left. And these are people, they've been, athletes have been sort of at the top level. They're sort of competing with the same guys. One of the PGA Tour guys said, yeah, I played with him when he was 6. I played with him when he was 10, 12. They're just a certain elite group of people. And played with him all my life. And now they're on the senior tour. They're still playing against each other. Same thing with other sports. And she looks left and she sees all of these young ladies that she's been swimming against for years. She looks right and she sees it, but then she looks over here and there's this huge guy with a wings, with a wingspan somewhat larger than Wilt the Still Chamberlain. Do you know Wilt? The biggest wingspan anybody's ever seen, 7'2". But she sees this guy and she says, oh, wow. And I tell the story. It's a very sad story. She was seriously injured. You heard about this, right? You know what happened to her? She got injured with windburn because this guy went by her so fast that the wind gave her horrible, horrible burns. They took her to the hospital, but she'll make it. She'll be okay. So much for the record. He finished the race, then he went to lunch, and as the other girl swam in, he was going to lunch. He said, let me go to lunch while I'm waiting for them to come in. Now, how ridiculous. And you know what? It's very demeaning to women. It really is. It's ridiculous. It's very demeaning. The state of California has no right to take children away from their parents and sterilize them. They take them away, sterilize them. Can you believe this? I will stop it immediately. All of that crazy stuff will be stopped. I will protect your youth. I will protect parents and their rights, and we will have them make decisions for their children. They are going to be making the decision.
True to his word, upon being sworn into office, Trump wasted no time in taking action. One of his first major moves was signing a law banning transgender females from competing in women's sports at the national level. Trump framed the decision as a victory for fairness, insisting that the law was necessary to protect female athletes from what he called an invasion of biological males in women's sports. His supporters cheered it as a bold stand against woke ideology, while critics decried it as discriminatory and a direct attack on transgender rights. The law immediately sparked legal battles, with advocacy groups vowing to challenge it in court. But Trump, as always, remained defiant, declaring that under his leadership, sports would be based on biology, not ideology.
I want to make this a really good signature because this is, this is a big one, right? Oh, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr. President.
With this executive order, the war on women's sports is over. Under the Trump administration, we will defend the proud tradition of female athletes, and we will not allow men to beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. From now on, women's sports will be only for women. With my action this afternoon, we're putting every school receiving taxpayer dollars on notice that if you let men take over women's sports teams or invade your locker rooms, you will be investigated for violations of Title IX and risk your federal funding. There will be no federal funding. So when the Olympics comes to Los Angeles in 2028, my administration will not stand by and watch men beat and batter female athletes, and we're just not going to let it happen, and it's going to end, and it's ending right now, and nobody's going to be able to do a damn thing about it, because when I speak, we speak with authority.
What do you think? Is woke culture truly ruining America, or is Trump just playing to his audience? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more bold takes.